Welcome. This is introductory video for my class Ms.Servin for English 133 A500, English 145 A501, English 145 A500, and then let me start that again. English 145 A500, English 145 A501, English 145 A502, okay? In addition to English 133 A500. So welcome to my class. For those of you who have had me before, you're gonna hear a lot of the same stuff, so please bear with me. You know how my class works, so just bear with me. And then of course, there's gonna be new stuff that we're gonna be discussing. So for those of you who have not had me, welcome. I am Ms.Servin, and I will be your instructor, your teacher for this term, okay? And I am very different. I manage things very differently, so get ready for the ride. And as I tell my students, if you got me, it's you're ready to hear the message. And as one of my students is like, what's the message, Miss? So the message is about really growing and about really expanding and becoming the best version of yourself. And that's really through content. That's really what you learn. So we learn what we need to get done through class and through curriculum, but we also learn a lot about ourselves. I do offer meditation sessions right after our team's meetings, and I'll get further into that. I guess it's weird, I mentioned it right now. So we will be having team's meetings probably next week once we get settled in. I have to input all the students. I usually have classes, full load of about 300 students, so please bear with me. There's a lot of logistical things that I have to do in inputting. So as soon as I get that done, we'll have a team's meeting next week, and then after we do our lectures and I do my lectures and we review whatever is pending, then we do meditative sessions. So that really helps for everybody, especially it helps you focus. Especially my military, my veterans, it helps them as well, and it's very good for mental health. It's also very good to focus, and it's all very good also to understand yourself and being able to sort of calm yourself in situations that give you anxiety or stress or depression. So meditation helps tremendously. So I help you all with that. And so I have also had, this is very interesting, this is coming out, so it has to be said. So I also have had students in the past, get a hold of me because they're having like a meltdown or they're going through a really hard time. And so if you text me, the best way to get a hold of me is through Teams, and you text me and I will answer mostly immediately. If I don't, that means I'm probably in the bathroom or in a meeting or a call that I can't answer, but I will get back to you as soon as I can. So make sure that you state what it is that you need, and then I will get back to you. Even if you're a student, and if you're watching this course, right, you're one of my students. But even if you leave my class, there has been students that have reached out for other personal stuff, and I am available always. So if you want to reach out, I will be available, okay? Something about that as well, in terms of courses, I do have a life and I do have a family, and so if you're texting me at 2:00 in the morning, I'll probably answer back, but it's not gonna, I'm gonna be pretty shocked. And remember that when you get those texts, you always think someone died or there's an emergency, so please be mindful of the hours that you're texting me and the hours that you're calling me, okay? All right, so I am Ms.Servin. Welcome to my class. I am very different. Our class is online fully. I know that there's hybrids, and I know that the labs specifically have gone 100% on campus, but we are not. We're English, right? And for the most part, people are very bored with English, but it's something that we need to understand and we need to go through and we need to really dominate and master. So we have to have it, okay? So I'm gonna try to make the class as easy as I can while you learn what I think is the most important thing for you to learn in terms of English. Everything that we've seen, that we will be seeing, it's probably 5th grade or 8th grade English. So it's just sort of a review, so bear with us. It is what it is. And then for my English language learners, my second language learners, this is a really good refresher course for you to practice and for you to learn, vocabulary, and for you to know structures, and for you to be able to practice, just basic, it's grammatical rules, really what we see in both classes, okay? So English 133 has a hard copy. The book room is notorious for running out, so I recommend that you go and get your book immediately. If you don't get your book immediately, then you do tend to fall behind. I will be giving probably assignments tomorrow for homework, so make sure, Wednesday, okay, because I'm going to upload this on Monday, which you don't have class, but it will be for the first day of class, okay? And so I will give homework probably the following day or 2 days after the introductory video. This is the introductory video. This is gonna have to be, this is your first assignment, and there's a link on SU. All your introductory video and your daily attendance, okay, will be in your first week always, okay? You will find it there. So the link for introductory video is there. It is your first assignment. You have to view the whole introductory video. You need to take a screenshot of me, and then you need to comment here, Ms.Servin, I am for, English 145, the section, or English 133 in the section, and then just comment, with your name, and then just comment, introduction, glad to be here, I'm looking forward to it, whatever it is that you want to state. And then you screenshot that with your comment, and then you upload the picture for, for this assignment. You're going to be uploading most of my assignments, since, they can't, it's a hard copy for English 133, and then for 145, it's the Cengage. So there is no seamless, interaction with SU. So I work a lot on screenshots, and you uploading the screenshot to your assignments, okay? There's some, figure out how to do that. There's some that, instead of having to upload consistently, you can upload, several files at one time, and then it looks like one file. Please make sure that whatever screenshot you upload and whatever assignment you upload, you title it, and you put your name, and you put whatever homework it is. Because after I review some stuff, sometimes it's hard to go back, and I can't figure out who you are. And so with me, when I open files, sometimes the files don't have a title. So, and I have several files open. So if it's a written, if it's a written assignment, then it's very hard for me to know who it is that wrote it, okay? So the other thing is that if you want to put your ID next to your assignment, you don't have to do that for daily attendance, because your daily attendance is going to have your comment on there, okay? Then, so daily attendance on YouTube is not a problem, but for your homework, for your assignments, for your book assignments, if you could, screenshot your name, that would be great. And if you could title, whatever files that you're uploading, whatever the homework is, and then, your name and section, that'd be great. I would really appreciate it. So English 133, go get your books. The book room is notorious for running out of books and not getting them. If you don't get them, I will be assigning homework. So I know that the library, I had a really, astute students, and they were brilliant, and so they went to the library and were able to check out the book and do the assignments, so they didn't fall behind. English 145, all the sections, A500, A501, A502, you need to make sure that you log on to the link on Cengage, and then it'll auto-populate your roster, and it will put you in the roster. If you have not clicked onto your Cengage and into the ebook, it's not an ebook, it's an extension of it's a link to the book, to Cengage, then your name will not come up, and you will not have access. So if you do not do your work, and you do not turn in assignments, book assignments, you will probably not pass my class. So make sure that gets done. There's a lot of people that just want to do the daily attendance in the exams, and then they barely pass my classes, and then they're backpedaling because they didn't turn anything in, and they want a better grade, and then they turn other stuff in. I will not allow that, okay? I do not accept makeup work at any point, unless you're dying, someone died, you had COVID, whatever, and you have to get it approved by the director's office, and only then do I review if I allow you or not, because the director can approve, but ultimately it's the teacher's decision whether they allow you to make up work or not. Okay, so be mindful of that. If you have had a history of with me that you don't turn in stuff or whatever, I have all that documented, so I won't be that kind. But if you have something that happens to you, and there's, you know, something life that happens to you, then I don't have a problem with it. But no makeup work just because. Okay, so so that on English in the books. When you contact me for any reason, whether it be Teams, but so there's Teams, Bubble, email, okay, is the contact that you can do through me. Oh, and YouTube for us, okay? Make sure that you state your name and make sure that you state your class and your sections. I have 500 students. So if you don't mention your class and your section, I have no idea where you are, and you're just delaying the process, okay? So if you are in English 145, you don't say, you know, Ms.Servin English 145, and then that's it, because I don't have the section. So you're going to have to say Ms.Servin English 145, if your name, like for me, like my name is Ms.Servin. Ms.Servin English 145, and then section A500, okay? So make sure that when you reference me, when you're reaching out, you state who you are, because I don't see your faces, so I have no idea who you are, okay? And you need to state it, and then that way, because I have a lot of students and I have a lot of stuff going on, so that way I can reference it and I can go back and pinpoint whatever needs to be discussed or whatever issues you had or questions or whatever. I can figure out what it is that you're talking about, because I don't know what class you're in, okay? So be mindful of that, please. So the categories for school are assignments, exams, and learning activities. Your learning activities are your daily attendance. We take daily attendance. You have to say here, and then that will be your daily attendance grade. You're either here, you get 100, or you're not, you get a 0. That's that simple. You can't come and tell me that you're busy, that you work till midnight or whatever, because they're usually open for 2 days, and you can upload and you can see my YouTube videos at any time. So when you tell me that, I'm not going to let you upload, and I'm not going to give you a grade for it, okay? Part of the learning activities is to teach you that first there's consistencies and there's requirements that you need to meet. Sometimes we don't like the requirements, sometimes they're kind of silly, sometimes whatever, but it is what it is. And most importantly, what I'm teaching you through learning activities is that sometimes in life, all you need to do is just show up. If you show up, you get 100. If you don't, you get a 0. It's that simple. So show up, right? And you can show up at any time. All you have to do is view my video, comment on it, screenshot it, and then upload it to SU. In your first week, you will always have your daily attendance, all right? This is not a daily attendance video. You will have a daily attendance video tomorrow. This is an SU introductory video for term May 11th through June 22nd, 2021. Okay, so this is assignment. This is not a daily attendance. Your assignments usually have to do with introductory video and all your book assignments. We will have no other assignments other than book assignments. I will give you the instructions. Everything will be verbal through YouTube. If you have issues with YouTube because whatever, then you need to reach out to me and I will make special accommodations for you. But you also need to have ideas about what the special accommodations are. You can't just tell me that you don't like YouTube and that you don't think it's fair and then not give me other alternatives on how to reach you, okay? So we're very blessed that we have YouTube and that you can see me and that we can have an interaction and it's a video, okay? So I use the platform tremendously. The other one is exams. We will be having exams, 2 exams, midterms and final. Understand and know that my exams are always a week before. So we will be having midterms next week, okay? So week 2 for me, and you will be having midterms for the school on week 3, okay? Several things I do that for. First and foremost, I have a lot to grade, and so there's no way that I would be able to meet my deadline with 300 students that I would have to read whatever it is that you need to read, first and foremost. Second, well, that's about the second one. The first and foremost is for you to prepare, for you not to be preoccupied with my midterm, and for you to have enough time to study for your other midterms. English is important, but you're really here for your medical, okay? So it's important that you study for all your other medical, classes that are really important, because that's what's going to help you pass. English is going to help you pass as well, because you have to know English and you have to be able to read a specific rate and be able to go through, the test, because it's a reading test and you have to answer, and it tests mastery on your content and all that. But really what's important is all your other medical classes. So I always have, test exams before, so that way you put in all your time and effort into your other classes and you don't have to worry about it, and you're done with my classes. And then on week 3, right, when you have midterm for the other classes, for my class it's just an assignment, so it's easy. There's not much to it. I usually, my week 3s are kind of not heavy, okay? So that way you could really focus on your exams and study for your exams. Finals will be on week 4, and for our class, and then on week 5 we just do a summary and a wrap up of what is pending for the classes, okay? So that's really, really important. And then your learning activities, which is your daily attendance. So I think learning activities is worth like 40% of your total grade. I think exams are worth 30, and I think your assignments are worth 30%, okay? So that's the equivalent to 100%, and that's the way the division of the categories are balanced out, okay, for your total GPA, which is your grade point average. All right, you understand that you have to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've already discussed the YouTube. Everything's going to be oral, and everything's going to be orally instructed. Okay, so it's very important for you to see it. My YouTube is like my lecture, so you have to see them all. Some people just sort of like comment, there's questions I say and they just sort of comment here. It just tells me you didn't listen, that you didn't view the video. So when you're having problems later, I'm going to tell you to reference back the video, or when you miss the whole assignment because you didn't see the whole video, then I'm not going to be all that nice to you, because that means that you did not follow instructions and you did not do the proper requirements that you needed in order to fulfill your classroom requirements. And part of it is you have to see the whole video. And sometimes it seems like I got everything done at the beginning, but I always remember something towards the end, and then I sort of assign it. So make sure that you review all of it all the way through. And it's sort of like class. People used to say, oh, online, I don't like online because it's not like class or whatever. Well, here we are, and it's YouTube, it's the lecture, and whatever it is that we need to discuss through the video would be exactly sort of, I try to make it as sort of as parallel as best as I can, to give it sort of like if we were in class, in physical class, okay? So I already discussed, did I discuss the hard copy? I think I discussed the hard copy. Make sure that English 133, you go pick it up, and then English 145, you click on the link for the book, so that way you can auto-populate. Okay, so now for my credentials. I'm always kind of hesitant to give my credentials. Initially, when I first started at school, I got a lot of complaints that I was bragging and that I made people feel bad. I want to say that it's proper protocol for anybody that is instructing you, or anytime there's a presentation that's given for the person that's presenting, or for the instructor or teacher that's presenting or giving your class, to give you what kind of credentials they have, because you need to know who's teaching you and what it is that their experience are, in order to understand why it is that they have that job and why it is that they can teach that. Okay, so it's not a bragging, it's proper, it's professionally accepted. It's not only professionally accepted, but it is required, and it is expected. Okay, so it's not a brag. I am quite old, so I have a lot of stuff under my belt, and it's been a lot of hard work, which you will eventually get to. When you have my age, you will eventually get to that. Okay, so I have a master's in education. I was in Gadsden Independent School District in the state of New Mexico, which borders right here with Santa Teresa, for about 16 to 17 years as an administrator. My last tenure in Gadsden Independent School District, in Gadsden High School, was a high school principal. So I am very, very, I'm an expert in curriculum, and I am an expert in education, okay? I I have specializations in bilingual, dual language, and second language learners, as well as early childhood, okay? Administration as well. I have several licenses. I have administration license. I think it's like AB 1, 2, and 3 or something like that. I forget. So, so very highly skilled. You know, don't mistake my my easy classes for my inability. Because I am an expert, I am able to make my classes as hard or as easy as I can because I'm an expert at it. Okay, so that's that. I also have a bachelor's degree in journalism PR, which has come in very handy. What else? I am a commercial real estate broker, so I'm an entrepreneur and I have my own business. Just when I retired from the education, the public education system, I became a commercial real estate broker. I also have so YouTube. This YouTube channel used to be my own YouTube channel because some of my students asked me to create a channel on like our topics that we discuss. So if you will go to the videos that are not SU, we discuss all sorts of things. We discuss like breaking the cycles, like you know, growth, like divorce, like child rearing. So you're more than welcome to go through the videos that I've made. And then of course, you know, with COVID, this became my classroom. So then I created another YouTube channel. The other channel is Ms.Servin Dream Interpreter, because I am a dream interpreter and I'm psychic. So I have, in addition to my commercial real estate brokerage, I have another business and about esoteric stuff. So esoteric is like, you know, things that, you know, knowledge that only certain people understand is what it's called. But basically I'm psychic, so I have an Instagram also, and it's under Ms.Servin. And then the other YouTube video, I interpret dreams, and that's what it is. So for my students, if you would like a dream interpretation, just, you know, reach out, and I usually interpret the dream and then upload it into the dream interpretation YouTube video. Instagram usually has oracle reads, and so it's about what the message of the day is, and so you're more than welcome to follow me on Instagram as well. You know, they're just oracle readings. If you're really, really Christian, you probably won't jive with that. So forewarning of that, okay? What else? I think that concludes it. I don't want to overwhelm you with it. You know, with the introductory video. I'm very, very excited to have you as my students. I take my job very, very seriously, and I very much feel that, you know, because I'm very different, right? So I very much feel that this is a sacred contract, and that, you know, that I am here to be your teacher in this lifetime, because I believe in reincarnation. And so I take my job very, very seriously, because there is something within my class that will change your life. And so so it'll be fun. Enjoy the ride, okay? So I'm here to help you, and I'm here to help you get an A, okay? Because it can very much help you with your other classes, with your GPA, in case you're struggling through it. So, but I do have very high standards, in the sense that, you know, you are who you are. So, you know, it's important that you turn in quality work, even though it's not necessarily required, because I will accept anything that you want and anything that you give me. So make sure that you always turn in quality work, and, you know, quality work, and just be proud of what it is that you turn in. My son just came in, so he's trying to like squeeze in, but he's not an issue at all. I'm happy to have him here this summer, because he's here from school this summer. So very, very excited. Very interesting. So I guess I never mention anything private about myself, but I do have 2 children. I have a daughter and I have a son, and they are all grown up, which I'm very proud of. Okay, so get ready for the ride. If you have any issues, please contact me, reach out, be an advocate for yourself, and get ready for the ride. It's quick and fast, so you're gonna have assignments this week. So as soon as everybody gets their book, so English 133, go hustle, get the book. Book room is really great. You know, with COVID, they would like leave the book outside, and then, you know, people that had COVID, it was very interesting. They'd go pick it up and then they'd go home. So it was very interesting. So not that, you know, not that there's COVID in school, but when the students had COVID and they couldn't go to campus to pick up their books, you know, the book room was always very creative in handing out books. So make sure you go get it, so that way you're not left out with the book, because you will be fall behind. And then English 145, make sure that you click on your book and make sure that you learn how to navigate through the book. Okay. And then tomorrow I will do a daily attendance, and I will give you your homework, okay, for this week. Remember that next week, week 2, we will be having our midterm. It's going to be something very exciting, and we all do the same thing, okay? So so looking forward to that. I'll probably tell you what it is towards the end of this week, so you can start working on it, and then I'll do the upload. There is the link for SU on your week 1st, and it says introductory video, you know, for May 11th through June 22nd. And I think that does it all. Very, very excited to be your teacher as always. And for those of you who I've had before, can't wait to have you again. For those of you who are new, welcome. Namaste. Love and light. Bye.